Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. I'm going to be doing a full face of Gucci Beauty and I am so excited that this video is sponsored by and in partnership with Gucci Beauty. If you're not familiar with them, they've launched their cosmetic line recently and I'm so excited and honored to be a part of the launch. I purchased the bronzer earlier this year and absolutely fell in love with it. You've heard me mention it time and time again. So I'm going to be showing you that along with their other products, going into detail about the foundation. I'm going to do some swatches and things like that to really give you the lowdown on the line and of course show you it in action on my face. Let's go ahead and get started. So to prime my face today, I'm going to be using their primer, which is the Gucci Beauty Serum de Beauté, which is their Universal Silk Priming Serum, which has blurring properties. I really love this. You'll get to see how it works on its own too, because you can use it both on its own or under a foundation like I'm going to do it today, but I'll show you what it looks like. It's got this really great texture. It's lightweight. It's got squalane in there, which is hydrating, and my skin really loves that. And it works for all skin tones, all skin types. And I just find that this is the kind of product that just makes my makeup look better. It just does exactly what a primer is supposed to do. Sometimes I find primers can be a little bit more trouble than they're worth or actually interfere with my foundation, ironically, but this is not the case. And I've used all of these products with multitudes of other different brands, but I'm going to show you all Gucci today, but they don't all have to be used together, of course. It also says it has a spherical powder in there, which is what helps it kind of blur and then also helps the foundation glide on your skin. It just has such a good texture. So up next, I'm going to be using the Gucci Beauty Fluide de Beauté, which is their natural finish foundation, and this is really great. It comes in 40 different shades, and the way that they've kind of divided up the shades is great, because 40 shades is great, but sometimes being spoiled for choice can be a little bit overwhelming. So I'm going to show you the shade that I initially picked out before I used their shade finder to figure out what shade I was going to be. So this was me making a mistake, a little bit of a whoopsie, and just assuming that I was going to be neutral. So the way that they've divided up the shades, there is fair, medium, which is the category I'm in, medium deep, and deep. So there's 5 different categories, which I think is really important because you can have 40 shades and still not be inclusive. This feels and looks very inclusive, which is really exciting to me to see from a high-end brand. So when I picked this up myself, I picked up the shade 340N. So the 300s are the medium category. 340 is about almost halfway through the medium category, and the N means neutral. So there's a lot of logic in naming the shades, and I love logic. But when I did the shade finder, they actually give you kind of like a swatch of what it looks like. And in looking at 320C, I realized this is going to be a better match for me. It's a little bit lighter, but primarily it's the cool toned portion of it that makes it match my skin so well. So let me show you this in action, and I will have that shade finder linked down below. Really actually helpful. Because sometimes those things aren't. Look at that. That's 320C. If you had told me 5 years ago that I would be wearing cool tone foundations, I didn't see that coming. And then this is 340N. So it's not that it's like, it absolutely worked. I think the first time I used this in a get ready with me, it worked. But there's things that work and there's things that work. So you can see how much the undertone changes. Not a huge change in the depth, but a change in the undertone. This like blends into my skin versus this I could get away with, but it would pull much more yellow. But I will have that linked down below so you can check it out for yourself and figure out your shade. I took out 2 pumps. It gets quite small pumps, which I like. You have a little bit more control. And like, is there anything more satisfying than a great shade match? I just feel like triumph, success. But I've used this with both a sponge and a brush. Light to medium coverage, which I absolutely agree with. It's really blendable and spot on for the natural finish. I am just such a huge fan of natural finish foundations over the past, like, I don't know, maybe 3 years. And this really impressed me. It's really just supposed to give you like a skin-like finish and blur, and I think it does absolutely that. I feel like it has a really great wear time. I actually meant to do like a full dedicated review when I purchased this, and I'll have to do that for you so I can show you it at the end of the day, but I'll show you before and after and things like that today so you can see it in action. But as you can see, really beautiful finish, great shade match. You can see my skin is still showing through. I'll show you a close-up once I have it on. Let me know if you have tried anything from this line, by the way. I know I've spoken about the primer and the bronzer and the foundation in various videos, and I've got some new other stuff to show you today too. I really, really like this. I think I prefer it with a sponge. If you have a more dry skin type, I think you're really, really gonna like this because of its natural finish, but it still sticks around. And if you have an oilier skin type, I think you'll still really, really like it. It's just a matter of like the prep that you put under it and over it, things like that. But because it's natural, you have the flexibility to be suitable for more people. So I think you can see the foundation has a really beautiful finish in the close-up. It looks like a second skin. It's so natural, and it's just got this really like high quality feel, and I think it's a really, really beautiful splurge item. For photos, I took some photos in my bathroom just with my phone, front flash on, complete darkness, very dangerous circumstances to be taking a photo, and I thought it performed very well. I do just only have the foundation on right now, but you can see there's no major flashback. My skin is still showing through, but it doesn't look super shiny or greasy by any means. It feels really nice on my skin. I am definitely still going to powder though, so let's get into the rest of my makeup. Okay, so to powder my face, I'm going to be using their powder, which is the Poudre de Beauté Beauty Powder. I'm going to say it all in French, I apologize. This one is in shade number 4, and I'm going to use that one under my eyes to brighten, but then I'm going to use this one to set my face, and I just wanted to show you what the packaging looks like, because part of the experience of these types of brands is this is part of the experience. It's beautiful. This is the packaging that the powder comes in, similar to the bronzer, so I just wanted to show you that because it's special to me. I think it's very cool. So you get this beautiful little package. You know, I keep some of my other little products in these beautiful bags that they come with, and then this is what the actual compact looks like. Very similar to the bronzer, but you have this color on there, which is equally as pretty as the bronzer, and that's what it looks like inside there. It's just a lightweight pressed powder, which is really beautiful underneath there, and it has a natural finish. So this is the kind of thing that you can actually get away with using maybe even just one shade. I'm going to go extra and use 2, but it is light coverage, so you have some flexibility there. And I'm just going to pat this under my eyes to brighten it up and just mattify that area a little bit. So you can see the foundation is set on my face quite a bit, so I just have a little bit of shine down here because I'm a little bit of a combo gal at the moment, we'll say. So I always have to powder. This is a really nice lightweight one. And you get to keep the natural glow of your skin without it being completely like matte and flat and powdered. I want to give you another skin close-up just so you can see. So then let's move on to the product that I just fell in love with. This was the first kind of touch I had with their cosmetic line, and this is their powder bronzer. It's in the shade 4. This I have been using since February, so it's well loved, but this is so good. Similar to the other powder that I mentioned, it's very lightweight, but it's blendable. It has just this natural finish, and something about the shade is just so perfect for my skin tone. It's also really easy to use in that like some bronzers have too much pigmentation or not enough. I don't know, this one just does it for me. It's so good. I'll show you a side-by-side comparison so you can tell the difference. I even find with this, like the warmth of it, I feel like it almost looks like I have blush on. It's just been a really easy product for me to toss on. I've been loving using it with tinted moisturizers just on its own. You see the difference? This side of my face has more warmth, a little bit more definition. Looks like there's even a little bit of color on my cheeks here versus this side. And this side, I mean, honestly doesn't look half bad, but this is an improvement. I feel like this foundation is one of those, if you hear me talk about it in foundation reviews, sometimes I say there's certain foundations that you can wear like completely on their own and you don't feel like you need to have concealer and a whole look on. This is definitely one of them, which is what makes it like super versatile. gonna bronze the other side and even it up, and again, bringing it up on my cheeks. There's something about this color that just works. And I always take the remainder and put it on the side of my nose. I was like picturing the word instead of saying it. Does that make sense? But anyways, I take the remainder that's on my brush and just kind of run it on the sides of my nose because I don't really actually want to contour or bronze that area, but it just, even across the bridge of my nose, adds that little bit of sun kiss. And I'm just going back with my powder brush that has no product to blend everything in. I'm going to keep going with the bronzer and just pop it on my eyes. This is something I do often. If you watch any of my foundation routines, everyday makeup, this is the move. I don't need to grab for anything extra. The color works on both my eyelids and my face, you know, powder's powder. And I'm just using quite a fluffy brush. I'm not trying to build a lot of color. I just kind of want to demonstrate versatility because if you're splurging on some of these beautiful products, you want to make use of them. It really goes to show as well how different things can look when you use them differently. I'm just looking at my eyes and I'm like, wow, they look like this warm, rusty color on it, but then my face doesn't look like warm and rusty in a bad way, at least. Let's move on to their mascara. Well, let me show you the packaging before I dive in. I got too excited. Really, really pretty. It all has this kind of like vintagey look. I know when I purchased the bronzer, I was like, this is a vanity item. You want to show these off. So this is the mascara from Gucci. It's said to be lengthening and volumizing. It's got a plastic kind of brush on there. And I'm going to wiggle it at the base. This is really, it really gets in there and kind of separates. Like you can feel that it grabs every lash. No lash left behind. So you can see tons of length, like super, super separated. They feel really, really fluffy and not crunchy. I also love this for my bottom lashes. I don't, if you've noticed in a lot of my videos, I either don't put anything on my bottom lashes or only put a tiny, tiny bit because I find sometimes it can make it look like heavier and darker because I want so much volume and darkness on the top, but I don't necessarily want that on the bottom. So this, because it separates them so much, I feel like it's easy for me to go in really, really lightly and get just a little bit on the lower lashes, and then I can build it on my top lashes. So I'm absolutely spoiled for choice when it comes to lipsticks from Gucci. If you'd like maybe an Instagram video or something, I've got a bunch of great lipsticks from them, but I had to settle on one for today. And I wanted to use this one because I've been using it a bunch. It's sheer, it's got this great kind of peachiness to it. It is one of their Rouge de Beauté Brilliant in the shade Emmy Petal. Emmy Petal. What did I overpronounced petal there? But this is just one of those great, like, you can just throw this on. But it's so pretty. So you can see it just has this beautiful kind of like peachy coralness to it and a little bit of sheerness. So no doubt I'll be wearing this all summer. I really, really love all of these products. You can see I got a beautiful look using minimal items. And for me, if you're wondering what my standout is, if I had to pick, the foundation is so good. The bronzer has a special place in my heart though, and this lip color feels like it's going to be a staple for me. And the primer was just in a monthly favorite. So I discovered a lot of great stuff. But let me know down below what I've mentioned today that may have intrigued you. Have you picked up any of these items yet? And I would love to know what you think about them. They're all available in store and online at Sephora, so be sure to check them out along with the shade finder that I mentioned. I'll have that listed down below as well. And as always, if you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!